Okay, so section 4.6, I want to find an inverse for the function f of x equals 2 over 1 minus 3x. Now I'm going to give you a Clark way on how to solve this, okay? So the first thing I want you to do, number one, replace f of x with y. So everywhere you see f of x, that's y. Y equals f of x. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to say y equals 2 over 1 minus 3x. Now the second thing I want you to do is swap x with y. So everywhere you see an x, put a y, and everywhere you see a y, put an x. That's the idea of an inverse. We flip x with y, okay? We're reflecting it across the line y equal x. So when I do this, I write x equals 2 over 1 minus 3y. Now the third step, I want to solve for y. So how do I solve for y? Okay, so I've got this in the denominator here. I need to get it out of the denominator. How do I do that? Well, I multiply both sides of my equation by this denominator. So let me rewrite it a little bit bigger down here. So I've got 2 over 1 minus 3y. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 1 minus 3y. When I do this, these cancel, and so I have 1 minus 3y, and then x equals 2. Okay, I'm trying to get y by itself. That's what I'm trying to do, okay? Now, to do that, I need to move this x to the other side. The opposite of multiplication is division. So divide both sides by x, so those cancel. So I get 1 minus 3y equals 2 over x. Okay, now what? I need to subtract 1, so I subtract 1, all right? So I get negative 3y is what? Equal to 2 divided by x minus 1. How do I get y by itself? I divide by negative 3. So I divide everything by negative 3. So y is equal to 2 over x minus 1 divided by negative 3. Now that's kind of ugly. Hawks may or may not be okay with this. So if we simplify, common denominators, okay, x here and 1 here, so I need to put an x here, and if I put an x in the denominator, I've got to put it in the numerator. So then what do I get? I get 2 minus x over x, and that's all divided by negative 3. So I've got to keep, change, flip this again. So if I keep, change, flip, I keep the first the same, 2 minus x over x. I change division to multiplication, and I flip, I do the reciprocal of negative 3, which is negative 1/3. And when I multiply through, I'm going to get what? I'm going to get 2 minus x over 3x. And that's a negative, so what that does is that's going to change this from positive to negative and this to positive here. Okay, so this is what y equals. My last step is to replace y with f inverse of x, because that's what I've solved for here. So my final answer is going to be what? Let me turn it sideways. F inverse x equals minus 2 plus x over 3x. All right, so we're kind of getting all over the place on that one. Okay.